For 2021, Haunted Mississauga takes place in Moores Cemetery near Malton along Derry Road. Moores truly is a historic cemetery here in the city of Mississauga. The cemetery itself dates to 1832-1833. It's located on a piece of property adjacent to land that was granted for a church. James Trotter of York in 1833 granted a half-acre of land for the creation of a church with provision that none of it be used for a cemetery. So how on earth did a cemetery get to be created here? Well, a few years later, when they were looking for ground to bury local individuals, it was determined adjacent to the church was the best idea, and Samuel Moore donated an acre of land from his property right adjacent to the church itself for the creation of the cemetery. So there was two properties basically joined together within about a year, one to house the church and right beside it to house the cemetery. Today they are one piece of property. The church itself, although created or built in 1833, it's been known by a few names over its time. Moores Presbyterian Church, Bell's Presbyterian Chapel, Bell's Free Church, and the Hunt's Chapel, amongst others. So it's kind of had informal associations, but it was a Presbyterian church. Reverend Andrew Bell was the first minister of this community, and having first come to Streetsville in 1828, he really established himself in the Malton area in the 1830s, focusing his efforts again at the historic chapel that was once on the property of what is now Moores Cemetery. The chapel itself served the community until 1863, when a new church was built in the Malton village site itself, and Bell's Chapel was closed in 1877. Around 1877, we're not entirely sure on the exact date of it, but around 1877, the old church in what is now Moores Cemetery was lost to fire. You can still see kind of the ghost of the church within the cemetery today, but the church is no longer. As the community grew and focus led away from the old church site into the community of Malton, the use of the cemetery declined as well, and it really is kind of a last resting place for many early settlers in this area. The last interments taking place in the 1930s. So it is a historic cemetery. Again, it was active for over 100 years and is cared for today by the city of Mississauga.
Hello, welcome to Haunted Mississauga. This is the 20th annual version of this event hosted by Heritage Mississauga. We're filming here in Moores Cemetery. Lots of murder, intrigue, mystery. So I hope that you like it, and please check us out on October 29th.